Hello, friends at home. I am sitting here in the classroom with all of your in-school classmates. Everyone say hello.
Hi.
And we were just discussing the fact that tomorrow you will be taking your first math test. Now, we have been working a lot the past 3 weeks, learning all kinds of awesome things about addition. We have learned how to bring numbers together using cubes. We have learned how to bring numbers together using 10 frames. We have learned how to bring numbers together drawing out our part whole boxes, making models. So we have learned many different ways to add. All right. So this, boys and girls, is page 35 in your red math book. And I am going to go over this with you. This is a review. A review is something where we go back and look at all of the things that we learned to make sure that we really, really know them well. That way, when we take the test tomorrow, we'll do great because we already know how to answer the questions. So at the top of page 35, I want you to write your name. If you have not put your name on your paper already, please put your name on the top of it now. Friends at home, you already have this review at home with you. Friends here in the classroom, we are going to be taking them home tonight so that you can study for your test tomorrow, okay? So we're going to go through each of these review questions, and remember, each of these questions on the review is going to remind us of a skill that we've learned in this chapter. So let's take a look at number 1, okay? Number 1 says match the related addition facts. Now remember, when we learned about related facts, I taught you about, if you think about families, people that are in the same family are related, right? So numbers in equations that are the same numbers are just like the same people in a family. So when I look at these, I have lots of different number sentences or addition equations. And what we're going to do is connect the ones on this side to the ones on this side that are in the same family. So if I look at this first number sentence, I have the number 5 plus 2 equals 7. So my add-ins are 5 and 2, and my sum is 7. Does anyone see on this side a number sentence that has the same family members, 5, 2, and 7? Connor? The second one right here. So here I have, there's my 5, there's my 5. There's my 2, there's my 2. So my add-ins are the same. They're just flip-flopped. And my sum is 7. So these two sentences are related. So very carefully right now, take your pencil and connect that first sentence down to the second sentence on the other side to show that those addition sentences are related. Let's take a look at the next addition equation or the next number sentence. This one, my sum is 7, and my add-ins or my parts are 3 plus 4. Does anyone see a number sentence or an addition equation over here that uses those same members, 7 as a sum and then 3 and 4 as the add-ins? Serafina? The top one, I have a 4 and a 4. I have a 3 and a 3, and my sum is 7. Sum is 7. So very carefully take your pencil and connect the second number sentence here to the top number sentence over there. Now the last two, it's what I usually call a gimme. It means they're kind of giving you the answer, but we always check it to make sure that it's correct, okay? So my add-ins here are 1 and 8, and my sum is 9. Does this leftover sentence here have the add-ins 1 and 8 and a sum of 9? It does. So they are related. You can connect those bottom two sentences. Okay? Now, if we look at number 2, it says circle the parts and box the whole. Remember, the parts are the addends or the pieces that we're bringing together. So 5 and 4 are my parts. So right now you should circle the 5 and the 4. Those are the parts. If I were to draw the part whole box here, 5 and 4 would be my parts. And it says box the whole. Well, the whole is my sum. So draw a box around your sum or your whole. Okay? So the parts are the addends and the whole is the sum. All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says circle the whoops, I crossed it off. I meant to underline it. The related addition facts, okay? Remember, related, we're looking for the same family members. So in this family, my parts or my addends are 1 and 2, and my sum or my whole is 3. So I am looking for a number sentence or an addition equation that has the family members 1, 2, and 3, where 2 and 1 are my parts and 3 is my sum. Ava June, do you see it?
Yeah. And the bottom 2.
Which one is it? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
3.
3! You got it. I have, here's my 1, here's my 2, and there's my sum, which is 3. So circle that equation. They are related facts. Looking at number 4, it says which addition equation is shown in the 10 frame? Remember when we worked with 10 frames and we knew that the first color is our first addend and the second color is our second addend, and then the whole 10 frame is our whole or our sum. So let's count how many red there are. Will you count with me nice and loud?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my first part is going to be 8. Now let's count the second part, the blue pieces, nice and loud. Ready? 1, 2. So my second part is going to be 2. So if my parts are 8 and 2, how many do I have all together? Remember, it's a 10 frame and it's full. And we've said if it's full, I know it's 10. So my whole is 10. So I'm looking for a number sentence that shows 8 plus 2 equals 10. Does anybody see a number sentence down here that shows 8 plus 2 equals 10? Blake?
Top.
The top one. Now watch carefully because this is important. Do you see how there are circles next to those sentences?
Yep.
I want you to fill in the bubble. Don't just give it a check mark. Don't just put an X on it. I want you to color in very carefully and try your best to keep it in the lines, because that's a really important test-taking skill that you will use for the rest of your life when you're taking a test, filling in those bubbles, okay? So make sure you fill in the bubble next to the correct answer, and in this case, 8 and 2 equals 10. 8 plus 2 equals 10. Okay, moving down to number 5. It says Jack has 1 colored pencil. So circle 1 colored pencil. Then it says Kelly has 3 colored pencils. So circle 3 colored pencils. Now we got to find out what they want to know. Let's underline the question. How many colored pencils do Jack and Kelly have in all? So down here, I'm going to draw my box, and you can choose whatever method you like. If you like doing the part whole box, do it. If you like drawing the cubes, draw the cubes. If you like using your fingers, use your fingers. Whatever works best for you. So Jack has 1, that's the first part. Kelly has 3, That's the second part. How many are there all together? Camila? 4. So, part, whole. Jack and Kelly have 4 colored pencils in all. If I were to write this as an addition equation, I would say 1 colored pencil plus 3 more colored pencils equals 4 colored pencils. I could also write it top to bottom and say 1 colored pencil plus 3 colored pencils equals 4 colored pencils. All 3 of those are ways to show that Jack and Kelly have 4 colored pencils in all. And you don't have to do all 3 of those. You do what works best for you. I'm just showing you that there are many ways, okay? Ava June, do you have a question?
My mom has a friend named Kelly.
Your mom has a friend named Kelly? That's awesome. All right. Number 6 says, which addition equation matches the picture? So let's look at the picture, okay? Here I have 1, 2, 3 soccer balls in my first part. I have 1, 2, 3 soccer balls in my second part. So 3 plus 3, if I count them up all together, I want you guys to count with me nice and loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, some of you must not have been paying attention because you kept counting when we were done. Make sure you're paying attention, okay? So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our number sentence is 3 plus 3 equals 6. Does anybody see an equation that shows us 3 plus 3 equals 6? Lily?
The bottom one.
The bottom one. So very carefully color in that bottom circle. Remember, don't just give it a check mark or an X. That's not how we do it. We color in that circle. And when you are finished, turn to the other side. All right. On the other side of this paper, friends, we are going to be adding using our count on strategy. And remember, we learned how to do that with these number lines. So Noah, it says, show how you count on to add and write the sum. So remember, I always look at my addends or my parts, and I choose the bigger of the two. Beckett, which one is bigger, 3 or 4? 4. So my first jump on my number line, I'm going to go all the way to the 4. So everybody start at 0 and take your giant jump to 4. Ready? Whee! That's your first number or your first addend, okay? The next number, the second number, is the number of little ribbit jumps, like a frog, ribbit, 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 that we're going to take. So Austin, how many ribbit jumps are we taking? 3. So from that 4, everybody count with me. We're going to take 3 ribbit jumps. Here we go. Ribbit 1, ribbit 2, ribbit 3. Now where I land after my ribbit jumps, I took 3, 1, 2, 3. This number is my sum. So what is the sum for this equation, Serafina? 7. Good job. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. I'm glad you think it's easy. That means you're good at it. If we look at number 8, they want to know what sum is shown. So their first jump, they took to 5. That was their first number. How many ribbit jumps did they take?
1, and then it's
How many ribbit jumps, Mateo?
1.
1. And the number that we land on after our ribbit jumps is our sum. So the question is, which sum is shown? Everybody, what sum is shown? 6. So very carefully, fill in that bubble under your number 6. All right, moving on now to our word problems, our story problems. Number 9 says, Jake draws 3 triangles. So everybody circle 3 triangles. It says Andrew draws 5 more than Jake. 5 more than Jake. So he doesn't draw 5, he draws 5 more than Jake. Now it says, which model can you use to find how many triangles Andrew draws? So let's think about what we know, Emma. We know that Jake draws 3. So Jake draws 1, 2, 3. We know that Andrew draws 5 more than that. So if I were to show the 5 more than that, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which one of these cube models shows 3 of one color plus 5 more of another color? Is it the first one, the second one, the third one, or the fourth one? Which one shows 3 and 5 more? Johnny?
The one that has 3 green and 5.
The one with 3 green and 5 purple. Good job! So circle that cube train, friends.
I didn't know
That one shows that Jake had 1, 2, 3, and Andrew had 3 plus 5 more. All right, we're down to the last question on our review, and you guys are doing so well with this. I feel like you're going to do great on your test tomorrow. Noah, it says Dinah has 2 buttons. Everybody circle 2 buttons. It says Lulu has 1 more than Dinah. 1 more than Dinah. She doesn't have 1. She has 1 more than Dinah. Now it says, this is tricky. This is where they try to trick us. How many buttons do they have in all? So the first thing we need to figure out is how many does Lulu have? Then we can figure out how many Lulu and Diana have together. Okay? So Diana has 2. Lulu has 1 more than Diana. So Lulu has 2 plus 1 more. So how many does Lulu have? Mateo?
She has 3.
Lulu has 3. But that's not what they're asking us. They're asking us how many do Lulu and Diana have. So I know Diana has 2. And now I know that Lulu has 3. So to find out how many Diana and Lulu have, I have to add Diana's 2 plus Lulu's 3. So if I were to draw that out, I have Diana has 1, 2, and Lulu has 1, 2 plus 1 more. So all together, count with me, friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all together, they have 5. So it says, write your 2 equations. This is your first equation. This showed us how many Lulu has. And this is your second equation. This shows us how many they have all together, or in all. Friends at home, make sure that you go over this tonight. Study it. Go back over the problems and make sure you understand it really well. Friends in the classroom, this should go in your keep at home folder. So when you get home tonight, you can pull it out and say, Mom and Dad, I have a math test tomorrow. Will you help me go over this so I know that I'm going to do great on that test? Okay? Friends at home, happy studying. Bye now.